What's up, guys? We're here at the Printing United Expo at the TL Promotions booth with Dennis Moon. How's it going, Dennis?
I'm doing great, man.
Dennis, we see a lot of DTF printers in the room, but this is pretty unique.
Yeah.
This isn't like most of them. So what do we have here?
Well, we own a U.S. patent on this. It's a vertical shaker, and what it does is that it's running the film up and down like this. It comes out the bottom, comes back up. So what we have here is we've got 7 feet of curing area. So if this was horizontal like everybody else, it would clear out to the end of that unit there. So it works very efficiently because, as you know, heat rises.
Yep.
So what we're doing is we're tunneling the heat as opposed to pressing it out over a horizontal space.
Okay.
So the engineering of it is very efficient. And as you notice, there's no smoke. We have a simple exhaust unit right here. We recommend that people exhaust out of the building, but it works very, very efficiently. We have inside here, we have full auto powder recirculation. So we're pulling the powder from here, dumping it in here, and then dropping it across the unit. We've also, in this unit, we've also developed heat leveling lamps. So if you look at all of the shakers that are in use, if you heat gun them in the middle as opposed to the edge, there's usually a 3 to 5 degree difference in the temperature of it. Well, what we've done is we've developed bulbs that are wound tighter on the ends. There's a wire inside the tube.
Okay, yep.
So we wind it tighter on the ends than in the middle. And what it does is it creates a hotter section on the ends, which levels out the heat. So we get nice, even curing temperature. So there's a lot of technology that we built into this unit.
And was this all developed by TL?
Yes, we developed this in-house. I came up with the original design. This is our Gen 4. This is our 4th generation, so we've made changes as we've gone along. But yeah, we designed all this in-house. Of course, we OEM manufactured in China, but it's made to our specifications and in accordance of our patents.
Well, and you guys, not only this is different. I mean, I could tell like the white agitation. Right. I mean, you guys.
So here's the other
innovate.
A lot of companies are now using this. We developed this about 3 years ago, where it's auto feeding the film. Back when we were using pinch rollers, if you started with a large roll of film,
yep,
it created more effort to pull it, and as the roll got smaller, it created less effort. So we constantly were fighting with registration issues. So we came up with this bouncer bar, which has become, we never patented this, so it's become more of a standard in the industry now. So what happens is there's an eye down there. When the film gets above the eye, it activates this motor and it releases film. So we have consistent pressure throughout the size of the roll. What we're running now is 38 film. It's half the thickness of the standard DTF film, which is 75 to 100 microns.
Yep.
Okay. In order to do that, we had to completely redesign the printer. The printers normally, the way they work is you have pinch rollers that are pushing the film through the print area.
Yep.
What we've done is we've taken that technology away from the fabric printers and we've utilized it in this. And so what we're doing is we're now sucking the film down onto a conveyor system, and we're pulling the material through the print area. I'm opposed to pushing it. So there's no more pinch rollers. There's no more pinch rollers that you have to clean or have inconsistency, because what happens over time, we found, is that the pinch rollers, the springs in the pinch rollers degrade, and so we tend to get dog walking. With this, we're 100% consistent all the time. So we have a vacuum that's sucking this down and pulling it through.
That is unlike anything I've seen in here.
This is the only one in existence. This is our prototype, and this is the only one, to my knowledge, that exists in the world.
This is a 6-head printer.
This is a 6-head printer. We're running about 200 to 225 square feet per hour.
Okay.
We are making some changes to this printer. We're going to magnetic gantry motion, and we're also going to 8 heads. So when we get to 8 heads, we're going to be at about 300 square feet per hour. but like I said, this is our prototype, and then we're just getting the bugs worked out of it. This we also developed. This is our white ink shaker. All of the ink has sediment. Now they're coming out with non-sediment ink, but to be honest with you, they still are not as good as the low sediment inks. So what happens is, because of the way that all of these are designed, the paddle is slightly above the bottom of the tank, and so a sediment tends to collect at the very bottom. When the sediment gets to a certain point where it can actually be sucked into the system, then it clogs everything up. So what we're doing is we're slowly paddling shaking it, stirring it, and circulating it constantly, which keeps the ink moving. Okay?
Exactly.
So these are things that we've developed that you're not going to see on any other kind of printer.
Well, and what I haven't seen in this room either is this whole inline setup. So obviously most printers, we print, we go through a dryer shaker, typically not like this one.
Right.
But you guys are taking it all the way to the automation of going straight onto an XY cutter?
Exactly. So let me just show you this real quick. This is our ventilation system. Again, if you'll notice, there's no smoke. It's ventilating here. I just want to emphasize that, because
Very important,
Yes.
the exhaust for sure.
So yeah, we're coming out of here. This is another one of our inventions, you want to say, or developments. Almost all the shakers have a roller way down here.
Yep.
And we got numerous complaints from customers. They say, hey, it's hard for us to get down on our hands and knees to cut the roll and move them. So it's very simple, but we moved it up here.
That makes sense.
So if you're just using this part of it, the roller's almost knee high.
Yep.
You just simply take it off, and you don't have to bend over and lay down. So, and we have a light here so we can see how the print's coming out. Then it comes here and collects, and this cutter's fully automatic. So when we print, it's printing a Q code over on the corner there. So as this thing comes through, it just reads the Q code and prints on its own. So what's really great about this whole system is that you can load maybe an hour's worth of printing and completely walk away from it. You don't have to worry about head strikes. You don't have to worry about the prints, other than just, manually or physically checking them to make sure that we're getting good prints, that we don't have a head has some issue with it. But this will just set and cut and go. Dustin, can you get this to cut, please? Yeah. Just go ahead and leave it on. Don't turn it off.
Now, Dennis, this can be used, though, with any DTF printer out there, right?
Again, we're using CAD-Link technology that's printing the
QR code? Yep.
So as long as you've got the CAD-Link, it'll just set and cut and run.
And how fast, you talked about 220 feet roughly over there. Can this XY cutter always keep up with the roll of film?
We actually have to slow it down.
Oh, wow.
Okay? Because it'll actually print and cut faster than...
So there's a camera that finds that QR code and then knows, okay, this is where we're going to be able to cut around it. And then our finished film just falls off and
dumps it in here.
That does not look like most of the film I see in the room. Man, you're not kidding about that being thin.
Yeah.
Why be thinner?
Well, there's a lot of advantages. First of all, the material's less cost. Okay, to buy it. We're shipping twice as much for the same cost. So normally a 100-meter roll, we get a 200-meter roll. It's exact same size and same weight. So when you purchase a container of 1,900 rolls, you're getting twice as much material for the same cost. Then domestically, when we ship it to the customer, we're shipping twice as much for the same cost. So again, that reduces the shipping cost to half. Then the final thing is the amount of waste that goes into the environment. So
the sustainability. Yeah.
So all of those things bear in. Then one of the other features is this is 3 to 4 second press.
Nice.
Okay. So we're working now with the full rotary presses, and so we want to be able to get it down to where with the press time and the cycle time is 6 to 8 seconds. So that's our key that we're working on now. So
Very cool.
I want to point out, though, if you look at these colors, it almost looks neon. You're going to hear a lot in the shows about expanded gamut.
Yep.
The key is to having good ink, good film, and good color profiles.
Yep.
Okay? We're getting this with CMYK only.
That's very, very detailed.
CMYK only.
Wow. That is a very vibrant color.
Yeah.
But it's not an oversaturated color. Because that's something I've seen a lot of is,
Right.
I'll just oversaturate it.
Yeah.
No, you're throwing off colors.
This is what we're getting with CMYK.
Very, very cool. Well, Dennis, TL is obviously an innovator. It's not just...
We were the first in the DTF industry.
So, yeah, well, when you say we're on our 4th generation of this, I mean, that's pretty fast.
We worked on the development of the process from the very beginning. We were in the DDG, and this process was born out of DTG.
Dennis, so we've got this whole lineup. What are we looking at cost-wise?
This entire unit, the printer, shaker, and the cutter, is $52,000.
You have the whole thing set up.
It's $52,000.
And have you seen more and more shops buying an XY cutter with a printer than we did in the years past?
Yeah,
It's
we've
becoming
had a lot,
way more automation.
Right, more automation. Labor cost.
Well, one person can run the whole thing, right?
One person can run this. And like I said, you can just basically walk away from it. And you can see he sped it up now a little bit to where it's cutting faster. You watch. If they leave it at the real fast speed, it'll eventually pull to where they're slack down here.
Yeah, we don't want that.
They're timing it. So we have a little bit down here now. But if he turns this, really cranks it up, it'll catch up to where they have to stop.
Well,
You can see how fast it's printing. I mean, it's getting after it.
very cool. Well, yeah,
This is our new baby.
I can tell. Dennis, you are definitely innovating the technology because we see a lot of things here we haven't seen anywhere else in the room. The vertical dryer, the heat, the way it rises and everything.
Yeah.
You don't want to microwave something for, 30 seconds. We want to bake it or smoke it.
Right.
Yeah, that is very cool. Dennis, what's your background? Are you an engineer by trade?
I am not, but all of my guys are engineers.
And you just see a problem, you want to...
I'm the guy that comes up with the ideas, and then they figure out how to make it happen.
Very cool.
So
Even the film being half the weight, there's several advantages I hear there,
Yep.
and especially the sustainability. I feel kind of guilty sometimes with the DTF, like, oh
A
my.
lot of stuff in the trash.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, Dennis, where can our viewers go to learn more about this printer and your whole lineup at TL Promotions?
So you can go to Topline, you go to Topline Promotions Inc. or TL Promotions Inc. That's INC.com. And we have a website. You can go on there. So it's tlpromotionsinc.com. And you can go on the website and look at all the different things we have. This is our new program. What we're doing is we're working on a program where we're going to have partners throughout the United States that we're feeding work to on a national program. And everybody will be using the same printers, same ink, same
Color profiles,
same color profiles, and then we're going to have consistency across the board.
You'll have your network.
That's exactly right.
Very cool. Well, Dennis, thank you for taking the time.
Not a problem.
Guys, TL Promotions, very cool technology going on here. Very much so innovators when it comes to all things DTF. Check out Dennis Moon's TL Promotions and give them a call if you have any questions about their lineup of equipment.